Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com this afternoon from Resurrection Christian High School in Loveland. It's a Patriot League clash as the visiting Brush Bee Diggers take on the Resurrection Christian Cougars along with Evan James. I'm John Beltran. This game, the regular season finale for both teams, is essentially for fourth place in the Patriot League. The Bee Diggers come into this game with a 4-4 league record, 11-9 overall, and Resurrection Christian is 5-3 in league play and 15-5 on the season. And when you look at Brush's history here in Loveland, they've had trouble winning, but the last 2 years they've been able to pull it off. In fact, they went 2-0 against Resurrection Christian last year, including a regular season finale win in Brush. We'll get to the starting lineup here momentarily.
The Bee Diggers starting lineup is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today.
All right, for the visiting Bee Diggers, they go with virtually the same lineup they've had for much of the year. Batting first will be the center fielder Carson Rule. Second baseman Braxton Shelton at second. The shortstop is Nick Wellen. Batting cleanup is the third baseman Ben Garrett. The right fielder Eli Garcilaso hits fifth. Alejandro Maltos Garcia, the left fielder, bats sixth. The catcher is Hunter Ludgate. Batting eighth, the left-hander Bryson Wooldridge. And Kyle baseman bats ninth, and both teams are dressed in white uniforms. Resurrection Christian with their white pants and the Bee Diggers with their grays. For Resurrection Christian defensively, Zach Parrish is at first. The second baseman is Ethan Wheeler. Over at third is Sawyer Shepard. The talented Jackson Romero's at short. Around the outfield, Andrew Iwanicki's at left. The center fielder is Cooper Strong. And Will Schrotenbauer is in right. Behind the plate is Jared Whitaker. And on the mound is right-hander Zach Cook. Hard-throwing right-hander. Looks like he's got a pretty decent curveball as well. And Resurrection Christian's had some close games here, which they've lost in league play. The exception was University. That was a 19-7 game. On their home field, they committed 8 errors, but this is a pretty talented team, Evan.
Oh, yeah.
And you look at the game against Sterling. They lost here 6-5 in 8 innings. And then they also lost in Eaton 3-2 in 13. So Resurrection Christian really is about a couple of innings away from being 17-3 instead of 15-5. All right, so stepping in will be Carson Rule. The Bee Diggers are hitting .283 as a team, and Resurrection Christian at .360. So that's something that Brush is going to have to solve, get the offense going today. You got to get that offense going today, especially against a team that has posted 15 wins and is trying to improve their RPI. Rez, I believe, at number 6 in that area, number 6, and the Bee Diggers at number 10, and they should stay there at number 10 before the 3A district brackets are released tomorrow. All right, let's get to our opening pitch.
The opening pitch is brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project.
All right, the opening pitch to be thrown by Cook here to the right-handed hitting Carson Rule. And we could have some rain today as well. We already feel it here before the opening pitch. Yeah, we saw some coming in. As you can tell, the wind is also going to play a little bit of a factor as well. The Bee Diggers are coming off a victory against Strasburg on Saturday, 6-4. Yeah, right now it's spitting rain, not even a drizzle. It's more like a spit. With an open stance for the right side, and the fastball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Carson Rule. On a gorgeous day, temperature in the 70s here in Loveland, Colorado. And the 1-0. Swung on and popped up in the infield. On the right side, the second baseman, Ethan Wheeler, to his right, makes the grab. And there's one down, swung at a pitch up in the zone. And again, that's the other thing. Pitch selection for the Bee Digger is going to be a key. Again, the offense has not been cranking lately. Only had 3 hits in a victory over Strasburg, only 2 hits in a 10-0 loss last Friday to Kent Denver. Here is Braxton Shelton, hitting just under .500, a freshman. And the pitch swung on line. That's a base hit into left field. Braxton having a banner season. And he's on for Nick Wellen. Shelton and Wellen really have been carrying this team offensively to these 11 wins. Now the rain continues to fall a little bit harder. We'll see what effect that has. Here's the stretch by Zach Cook. 3-step lead for Shelton to pitch, and the breaking ball is blocked. Nice block by the Resurrection Christian catcher, Jared Whitaker. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out, top of the first inning, just underway with Brush and Resurrection Christian in Loveland. This game's been rescheduled like 2 or 3 times because of weather. 1-0. Fastball is a little bit down and away. 2 balls and no strikes with Ben Garrett waiting to hit next. Throw is Nick Wellen. The Beat Diggers have 2 in scoring position. 2 in scoring position for Brush. Again, with the weather, we lost you here momentarily, but that's a single for Nick Wellen into left center field. So the Beat Diggers have 2 hits to begin the game after the pop out. So 2nd and 3rd here for Ben Garrett. Critical situation for Brush. Yeah, we figured we were through this weather. I mean, it's not bad, but it's enough to be a little bit of an issue right now. Garrett with an open stance. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball, a strike. Thigh high on the outside corner. It's 0-1. And operating out of the windup is Zach Cook with 1 out and 2 on. Critical moment for the Beat Diggers. The infield is actually playing in, which surprises me in the first inning. And the 0-1. And the breaking ball is upstairs, and the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Eli Garcilaso stands at what should be the on-deck circle, but those are non-existent here in Loveland. 1-1. The wine and offering. Swing and a miss at a fastball. That was around neck level. Yeah, you see that pitch. It's enticing, but that was way out of the zone. And it's ball 1, strike 2 to Ben Garrett. Yeah, anything hit on the ground, unless it's right at the infielder, should score a run or at the pitcher. 1-2. Breaking ball is in the dirt and blocked by Whitaker. And the count levels at 2-2. Rain is subsiding a bit in Loveland. 382 straight away, 352 in the gaps, 320 down the right field line, 322 down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Cook delivers. Breaking ball is fouled off to the right and out of play. We'll find out tomorrow where Brush will be playing in the 3A district tournament beginning on Saturday. It will be on the road. That's single elimination once you get to the top 32, and then once you get to the top 8, it's double elimination. And those games will be in Greeley. The pitch, fastball is up and in. Ball 3, strike 2 to Ben Garrett. At third is Shelton. At second is Nick Wellen. Yeah, this Res team very good, but very beatable, but you cannot give them outs. 3-2 pitch, and that is low. Below the knees with a fastball in the outer half, and the bases are loaded on the walk to Ben Garrett. And here is Garcilaso. His average was in the 300s, but it's dropping now to 200. Now the infield's a double play depth against the right-handed hitting right fielder. And again, Zach Cook will be out of the windup with the bases loaded and the pitch. Swing and a miss, a late swing by Garcilaso. It's 0-1. Yeah, he's got to time out that fastball a lot better. A very late swing. Laying down the sign is Whitaker. And the 0-1. Swung on and fouled off to the right. A defensive swing on a pitch that was tailing in. No balls and 2 strikes. Shelton singled, Wellen singled, Garrett walked, all with 1 out. But Garcilaso's now in an 0-2 hole. Cook again gets the sign. And he turns and fires. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the one thing you want to do against Cook is just work that pitch count. In Colorado, 110 is the maximum number of pitches you can throw as long as you've had at least 3 days of rest, which Cook has had. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball letter high. Garcilaso strikes out. There's 2 down. And that'll send up the number 6 hitter, Alejandro Maltos Garcia, freshman. And I was talking with one of the coaches, Sumner Rule, before the game, Evan. He said, man, they've been leaving a lot of runners on, even though the opportunities have been limited at times. And this could be another situation where that happens. Fastball's a strike on the outside corner, belt high. Looked like it stretched out the strike zone horizontally a bit. No balls and 1 strike. Runners take their leads. Shelton, Wellen, and Garrett. And the offering swung on and popped up into foul territory down the right field line. The first baseman, Parrish, giving chase, as is the right fielder. And the right fielder, Schrotenbauer, makes the catch in foul territory. And that ends the top of the first. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Brush does not score. And Resurrection Christian is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Resurrection Christian, where the Brush Beachers and the Resurrection Cougars are at 0.
All right, let's go to the bottom of the first inning. Jared Whitaker will lead off for Resurrection Christian. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. Zach Cook, the pitcher, at second. Batting third is the shortstop, Jackson Romero. The cleanup hitter is the third baseman, Sawyer Shepard. Batting fifth, the left fielder is Andrew Iwanicki. The first baseman, Zach Parrish, at sixth. Will Schrotenbauer, the right fielder, bats seventh. Cooper Strong in center hits eighth. And the DH is Josiah Lincoln. For Brush defensively, over at first is Kyle Wellen. Braxton Shelton's at second. The third baseman's Ben Garrett. In between him at short is Nick Wellen. Around the outfield, Alejandro Maltos Garcia in left. Carson Rules in center. The right fielder is Eli Garcilaso. Hunter Ludgate is behind the plate. And the left-hander Bryson Wooldridge delivers, and that's up and into the screen against the left-handed hitting Jared Whitaker. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, this Res team could hit, particularly the middle of that lineup. Here's the stretch and offering, and that is off the corner, off the outside corner. Count us at 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty against lefty. Swung on and fouled off to the left. And the count moves to 2-1. Here to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the first inning for Resurrection Christian. The Bee-Diggers stranded the bases loaded with 1 out in the first. The pitch swung on line to center field. Coming on is Carson Rule. It drops for a base hit. The Bee-Diggers had 2 in the opening inning, and the Cougars have a base hit here from Jared Whitaker. And here is Zach Cook, and that's the one thing. Even though the Bee-Diggers have a lefty on the mound, you've got a nice lefty-righty mix for Resurrection Christian. Brush is completely right-handed hitting dominant. Whitaker takes the lead at first. Tough to steal on Wooldridge. He's not only a lefty, he's got a pretty good move, although that one, he just maneuvered it over there lightly. And sometimes you make that easy move first and then try to set it up for something a little bit more drastic. 3-step lead, and the pitch is in the dirt, bounces away from Ludgate, and it's up the first base side. Runner advances on the wild pitch. So now at second base is Whitaker, and Brush does not want to get in the early hole they did in Kent Denver, because that turned into a 5-inning loss at 10-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Cook awaits the pitch, and here it is. And that's down and in. Took something off at 2 balls and no strikes. Wooldridge does have a couple of complete games this year, including a 1-0 victory over Platte Valley. And those complete games were at home. On the road today. 5-step lead at second. Tails inside. It's 3-0 to Zach Cook. And with Romero and Shepard coming up, the Bee-Diggers are in a little bit of trouble already, but let's see if he can come back on this hitter. 3-0 to Cook. Looking back in the pitch. That's a strike, belt high. With a fastball, he grooved in down the middle. It's 3-1. Off of second is Whitaker. Looking back in the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left and out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's the other thing. You've got to set up your pitching knowing that you're playing again in 4 days. So if Wooldridge throws a lot of pitches in this game, he can still throw he can go up to 110 here, but then his arm's going to be a little bit worn down. The stretch, stepping off is Bryson at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So you're going lefty, lefty, righty for Resurrection Christian to begin the bottom of the first inning. No score. The stretch and the offering. Swung on, grounded foul up the first base side. Count remains at 3-2 to Zach Cook, and if anything, the Cougars are working the Wooldridge pitch count. Already at 10. We're not even through 2 batters. Yeah, they've had some heartbreaking losses this year. 6-5, as I mentioned, to Sterling in 8 innings, 13 innings. That's almost 2 high school games to Eaton, 3-2. Swung on and lifted a shallow center field. That one might drop. That one will drop for a base hit right in front of Carson Rule. Runner holds up at third. Now on the throw all the way home to second is Cook. Boy, you got to have a cutoff there. No cutoff. And it's second and third, 2 in scoring position for Jackson Romero. So both teams have 2 hits in the opening inning, but a serious threat right now for Resurrection Christian. Yeah, Romero's been pounding the ball all season. Let's see on the reliance of technology if we can get that batting average. I know it was in the 300s, maybe even in the 400s. The pitch, swing and a miss on a tailing fastball up and away. It's 0-1. The infield is playing in for Brush. No balls and 1 strike. Whitaker and Cook on the bases. Fastball is upstairs and the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike to Jackson Romero. And also keep in mind that Resurrection Christian returns 7 starters from a year ago when they were a pretty good team last year. And the changeup is a little bit below the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. Another critical moment in the game for Brush, even though it's early. Wooldridge stretches in the offering. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Along the line, Ivan Cadena spotting the baseball, makes the catch. The runner tags, the throw towards the plate, and a bounce, a tag, and the slide, he's in there. And to third is a trail runner, Cook, as Whitaker scores. And Resurrection Christian leads 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. But the Bee Diggers got the out. I mean, we've seen big innings before. And Brush got the big out there. 1 down for Shepard, big, strong. Right-handed hitter for Resurrection Christian. They're going to appeal at third, but that appeal's not going to work out. Sac fly is going to hold up for Jackson Romero. But again, a runner at third, and the infield is still playing in, trying to cut down the runner at the plate, and that play was fairly close. Swung on line, and caught by the diving third baseman, Garrett. That ball was ticketed for left field, but 1 big dive to his left, and there's 2 down. What do you think of that play?
That was something else.
Could you have done that?
No.
Okay, I don't know. I could have done that maybe when I was 18, maybe.
I'm not tall enough.
Well, that's true. You know what? The reach helped. Yeah, what's Ben, about 6'3" or something like that?
Something.
Fastball is up and away to Iwan Nicky, left-handed hitter, the third lefty in his lineup for Resurrection Christian. Off of third is Zach Cook out of the stretch in a pitch. Swung on and popped up into foul territory. That'll stay in play if Garrett can flag it down. And Garrett's going to make the backhanded catch. Nice play by Ben Garrett. Lots of territory to cover, but he was able to make the catch. And the inning is over. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and a man left. To the second we go in 1 minute. It's Resurrection Christian 1, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And we're back to Resurrection Christian, where the Resurrection Christian Cougars lead your Brush Bee Diggers 1-0.
That's Evan James. I'm John Beltran. Evan is only a freshman at Brush High School, so he's done a lot of work this year, grooming his way into the broadcasting industry. So here we go with the Bee Diggers. In the top of the second inning, the pitch, and that fastball is low to Hunter Ludgate. Ludgate, Wooldridge, and Wellen here in the second for Brush. 1-0, as Evan mentioned, on a sacrifice fly by Jackson Romero. Swag and a miss, pulled the string on that one, and the count levels at 1-1. 19 pitches for Cook at the opening frame. You want to stay at around 15, so you got a chance to go the distance. Swung on that, is hit very high into right center field. Cooper, strong as a beat on it, makes the one-handed grab, and there's 1 down in the second. And that'll send up Bryson Wooldridge. Wooldridge has been up and down hitting-wise, hitting, I believe, at 160. At 1 point, let's see what we got here. Heading from the right side, one of those rare ones, left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, and he lines it to third. He made solid contact there, but right to the third baseman, Shepard, who caught it knee-high, and there's 2 down. Yeah, you can only hit it a little bit harder than that, which is what Sawyer Shepard himself did in the bottom of the first when Ben Garrett made that catch. So quickly here, 4 pitches, 2 down for Kyle Wellen, another freshman for Brush. Here's the wine and offering. Swung on and popped foul and out of play behind the backstop. It's 0-1. Well, Wooldridge did a nice job of getting out of it. Second and third and nobody out, and he allowed just one run. So Brush still sitting pretty in this game. The pitch and the breaking ball is upstairs. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. The B-Diggers had 2 hits in the opening inning, one from Shelton, one from Wellen, but they did not score. And the offering. Fastball is high. Ball 2, strike 1 to Kyle Wellen, the number 9 hitter in this Brush lineup. Whitaker lays down the sign, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went with a fastball. Threw it right by him, knee level. It's 2-2. You can follow us on Twitter, KSIR Sports, as well as the 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page. And the pitch, swing and a tapper foul up the third base side. Also, to follow the pitch-by-pitch account of this game, the iScore Central app. That's got games all around the country, all around the world. iScore Central app. It's all free. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. He took it high, 3-2. Went with a fastball there, did the right-hander Zach Cook. Oh, Wellen certainly working him a little bit more than we saw with the previous 2. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Cook. 1 1/2 innings have been played in Loveland. It's Resurrection Christian 1, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Well, it's 1-0 in favor of the Resurrection Christians Cougars. And we're back here at Resurrection Christian Field.
And another left-handed hitter, Zach Parrish, as we head to the bottom of the second inning. The pitch, that's a fastball for a strike on the outer half, thigh high, and it's 0-1. Parrish, Schrotenboer, and Cooper Strong. And the offering took something off it upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Cougars scored on a Jackson Romero sac fly. Out of the stretch, Wooldridge feels comfortable with the bases empty. And the 1-1. Swung on, line towards right field. That is a base hit. A lot of topspin on that one over the second baseman, Shelton. 3rd hit of the game for Resurrection Christian. 2nd straight inning. They have a leadoff single. Here's Will Schrotenboer, the right fielder who made a critical play down the line. I mean, how many lefties do they have here? You'd figure the lefty-lefty matchup would be favorable for a left-handed pitcher like Brush has, but this is the 5th left-handed hitter in the lineup, which bodes well for them if they face the righties in the playoffs. The pitch down and away. Tried to hit the outside corner, barely missed. It's 1-0. B-Diggers a double play depth. And when you look at some of Brush's losses, particularly in league play, they're right in these games. Down 1-0 against Sterling, lost 5-0. Down 5-4 late in the game against Eaton, lost 10-4. Down 3-1 against University in the 5th inning. And then University had that big 8-run frame, and they ran away from Brush. University, of course, did beat Res here 19-7. 1 ball, no strikes. Swung on and tapped foul to the screen. And the count levels at 1-1 with Cooper Strong, a right-handed hitter, on deck. Yeah, this is the definition of some pretty decent balance. It's so hard to find lineups, especially at the high school level, especially in the smaller schools which go lefty, righty, lefty, or even just 2 or 3 lefties. I can say my son is the only lefty for Fort Morgan, and everybody else is righty. Throw back to first, back in diving is Zach Parrish. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out, bottom 2. The Cougars lead the B-Diggers 1-0. Wooldridge comes home. Swung on, grounded foul up the first base side. Way out in front of that one, opened up that swing. It's 1-2. Yeah, the season started back in mid-March with Brush beating Fort Morgan 11-6. In fact, Brush's 2 most qualitative wins were in the month of March, both on the road. They also beat Yuma, which is a 16-win team. They beat them 15-3 in Yuma. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul again. Slow curveball, first base side. Count remains at 1-2. Here to Will Schrotenboer. Was Strong waiting to hit next. And Josiah Lincoln also waiting for Resurrection Christian. They got those old-time baseball socks as well. Throw back to first. Yeah, and, those are called stirrups. Well, now it's really not. They just have the look of a stirrup. It's really not a stirrup. It's just a baseball sock with that design, but it's not a true stirrup. The pitch swung on and lined up the middle, headed for center field. That is a base hit. 4 base hits in a game for Resurrection Christian, and that was fisted out there by Schrotenboer. And for the second straight inning, they've got 2 men on with nobody out. Well, that could mean that Cooper Strong, hitting from the right side, could be bunting. You checking out the clouds there, Evan?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Some
are we going to dodge something or no?
I think we might.
All right.
Maybe.
Let's see what happens.
We'll see.
The stretch. He's a big hitter. Yeah, he's scoring to bunt. Garrett coming in at third, and it's laid down foul to the screen. Well, that's the other thing. You get to this point in the season, as a prep for the playoffs, you want to play that small ball. And even though we're only in the second inning, these are things that both coaches want to work on. A 1-0 lead for the home team in the bottom of the second inning with nobody out and 2 on. Bryson Wooldridge gets the sign from Ludgate. Open stance there for the right side for Strong. Squaring to bunt again, and he lays it down beautifully up the first base side. Wooldridge falls, picked up by Wellen, throws to the second baseman, Shelton. It goes over his glove, down the right field line. A run is going to score. The trail runner to third, the hitter to second. That'll be a base hit and an error on the first baseman, Wellen. And it's 2-0 Resurrection Christian. Yeah, he should have just ate that baseball. There was no way, and that's a freshman mistake. There's no way you're throwing out that hitter. You eat the baseball, you leave the bases loaded, but instead he tried to get rid of it, and it wouldn't have done anything anyway. In fact, it got worse. So now it's a 2-0 lead, and now you're in big trouble with 2 in scoring position. Josiah Lincoln, another right-handed hitter. All these guys are big. Although size doesn't matter in baseball. Line to left field, base hit on the hanger. Schrotenboer scores. Around third is Cooper Strong. Throw to the plate. The tag, and he's going to be out at the plate. Ludgate applies the tag. Maltos Garcia with a bullet. The hitter Lincoln advances to second. It's an RBI single. 1 down, bottom 2. And it's 3-0 Resurrection Christian. But at least the B-Diggers got the first out of this inning, because they have already put up a crooked number, have the Cougars. So 1 down, and back to the top of the order. And Jared Whitaker, he's singled. That's 5 hits already for Resurrection Christian. The stretch, looking back in the offering. Swung on and grounded right side. Wellen backhands it at first. He'll run to the bag, step on the bag, and there's 2 down. Advancing to third is Josiah Lincoln. Well, Brush could find themselves in another situation where an inning could have been much worse. But if you retire Zach Cook here, I mean, this 3-0, it could be 5 or 6-0, but a nice play by Maltos Garcia. Wooldridge benefited from a line drive that was caught by Garrett with 1 out in the first, the offering, and that tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes, with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Short lead at third there for Lincoln. The offering swung on and fisted in the air over the pitcher. It's going to be a tough play. Wellen charges gloves, throws to first on the run for the out. Nice play by Nick Wellen. Zach Cook is out, and so is Resurrection Christian in the second inning. However, they played 2 runs on 4 hits, a beat digger error, and 1 man left. Let's head to the third in Loveland, Colorado. Resurrection Christian 4, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Resurrection Christian, where the Resurrection Christian Cougars lead your Brush Beat Diggers 3-0.
Yeah, apparently I thought 2 plus 1 equaled 4. I was way ahead of myself. So 3-0, not 4-0, as I said, going into the break. Nonetheless, the Beat Diggers have some work to do, because Resurrection Christian is pounding the baseball here. They have come up with 5 hits, make it 6 hits, and a fastball to strike. 6 hits against Bryson Wooldridge. Carson Rule popped to the second baseman in the first inning. The right-hander, Zach Cook, gets a sign from Whitaker. And the pitch, and the breaking ball stays high. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Cougars with 1 in the first and 2 in the second. Jackson Romero got the scoring started with a sac fly. but the bottom of the lineup delivered as well, and that fastball's in the dirt. Ball 2, strike 1 here to Carson Rule. Righty against righty. Stepping off temporarily was Cook, trying to re-landscape the mound. And the pitch swung on and lined to the shortstop Romero. Backhand, long throw to first is low, and it's dug out beautifully by Zach Parrish. One down here in the third.
Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient, make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game.
Oh, man. And that food over there?
Oh.
Jeez. Anything that's fried over there at Stubbs? Amazing. Here's Braxton Shelton, had a base hit in the opening inning, but he was stranded at third. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and tapped foul to the screen on a ball that was up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. 3 runs on 6 hits for Resurrection Christian. No runs on 2 hits for Brush. The Beat Diggers have committed the game's only error. Brush left the bases loaded in the first, and Resurrection Christian is stranded 2. Here's the wind, the 0-1. Fastball down and away off the glove of Whitaker. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Beat Diggers have had a pretty busy schedule here recently. As I mentioned, they played Friday at Kent Denver and lost 10-0, then won at Strasburg Saturday 6-4, going for their 12th win of the year, but trailing by 3. And the 1-1. Curveball, a beauty, a strike on the inside corner, thigh high. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's go, kid, right here.
And Zach Cook is getting into a rhythm. In fact, he's retired 6 in a row. And the pitch bounces in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With the other Beat Digger who got a base hit in the first inning, Nick Wellen, waiting to hit next. We've had some sun, we've had some wind, we've had some rain. Now it's just overcast, but plenty of blue around those gray clouds. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Romero charges, fields, throws for the out, and Shelton is retired. 2 down in the third. And here is Nick Wellen. That's 7 straight. Retired by Zach Cook. And again, it goes back really to that first inning. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out when the Beat Diggers had their opportunity, but now they'll have to keep it at 3-0 if they cannot get a run here. Cook ready, so is Wellen. And the pitch. Off the glove of the catcher, Whitaker, down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Nick Wellen. For the first time, they've extended the season to 23 games. This will be number 22, the Beat Diggers. Actually, number 21. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. In Colorado, for the longest time, you had a maximum of 19 games you could play. For this year, they extended it to 23, which is nice. I mean, I've worked in states where you get up to 30 games in a regular season before the playoffs, but this being a cold weather state, but they wanted to get more baseball in, down and away with a fastball. But the reason Brush is playing 21 instead of 23 is because they had their doubleheader last Thursday against Eagle Ridge Academy, canceled, no makeup for that doubleheader, which Brush would have won anyway. Eagle Ridge is winless this season. And the breaking ball's a strike on the inner half thigh high, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with the bases empty and 2 down in the third. While on the right-handed hitting shortstop, a junior. Awaits the pitch. Fastball is low. 3-2 to Nick Wellen. Senior day here at Resurrection Christian High School. Laying down the sign is Whitaker. And the 3-2. Swung on line. That's going to be caught. A soft liner to the third baseman, Shepard. He barely had to move his body, barely had to move his glove. And it's a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Zach Cook. He's retired 8 in a row. 2.5 innings complete in Loveland. Resurrection Christian 3, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Resurrection Christian, where the Resurrection Christian Cougars lead the Brush Beat Diggers 4-0.
3-0. See, now you made the mistake. So
yeah,
now we're even. You did that so you wouldn't make me feel bad. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Did we have a shout-out that we got to we'll talk about it here in a second. That pitch tails away to Jackson Romero. 1 ball and no strikes. Romero hit the sac fly in the first inning against this left-hander Bryson Wooldridge. And the pitch. Swinging a grounder, left side, third baseman Ben Garrett swallows it, throws to first for the out. And there's one down in the bottom of the third inning. And that'll bring up Sawyer Shepard, who hit that bullet that was caught by Garrett, who's been key defensively for Brush just to keep this at 3-0. Game moving along at a very swift pace. Well, that's what happens when you have no walks. The offering. Swung on and tapped slowly up the third base side. Fielded by the pitcher, Wooldridge. Sidearms it to first for the out. There's two down. Just like that. Two down here for Andrew Iwanicki. So now maybe Bryson will get into a little bit of a rhythm. But they're going to have to figure out something against Zach Cook, who's retired the last 8 B-diggers. Ludgate lays down the sign and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of that one. Looked like he threw him a changeup. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Swung on and grounded to second. Braxton Shelton on hop number 3 will throw to first. And on 5 pitches, Bryson Wooldridge retires Resurrection Christian. 3 innings are in the books. With the score, Resurrection Christian 3, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And we're back at Resurrection Christian, where the Resurrection Christian Cougars are leading your Brush Beachers 3-0.
38 minutes of baseball been played. We're almost halfway through this game. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. Not quite the Kevin and Evan combination, but the James-John combination. In fact, the James-John combination when I was growing up was my good buddy who I spoke to for the first time in a while, James Damari, who lives in Ocala, Florida. And it was great visiting with him. As we move to the 4th inning, Ben Garrett followed by Eli Garcilaso and Alejandro Matos Garcia, 4, 5, and 6. Check that, Ivan Cardenas on deck. Swung on line, base hit into right field. There's a base hit for Ben Garrett. Here comes Ivan. And for Garrett, that snaps a string of 8 consecutive B-diggers retired. So this will bring up Ivan Cardenas. Garcilaso did have the 1 plate appearance and struck out. So here's the freshman at double play depth of the Cougars. The stretch by the right-hander Cook, and the offering, squaring to bunt, lays it down foul up the first base side. Well, we understand that the Resurrection Christian second baseman Ethan Wheeler has been hurt all season. This is his first game back, not hitting today, but hey, congratulations to him just getting back on the field. I mean, that hurts when you're a high school athlete and you're unable to play because of injury, but he found his way back for this regular season finale and starting at second here for the Cougars. Throw back to first, back in diving is Ben Garrett. Resurrection Christian with a 3-0 lead in the 4th inning. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and he pops it foul up the left side. And again, we were talking about small ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Here to Ivan Cardenas. I mean, when you're starting, 5 freshmen, you know that you're going to have some growing pains, but this is still an 11-9 season for Brush. No balls and 2 strikes. More than likely, the bunt sign is taken off. Well, that's a huge lead for Garrett. You got to think Cook's going over there. He does. Back in diving. Ben had a hamstring issue earlier this season. He looks healthier now.
He's sped up quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And the pitch. And the breaking ball called strike 3 right down the middle. And it's a strikeout of Ivan Cardenas, 1 down in the 4th inning. And that is strikeout number 3. Here for the right-hander, Zach Cook. Alejandro Matos Garcia popped to right, and he takes a fastball up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, no extra base hits in this game, despite the fact we have 9 combined hits. Everything's been a single. Garrett off of first base. Whitaker setting up on that outside corner. Throw back to first. High. Boy, it's a nice stab over there by Parrish. Nice to have some height over at that position. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, 1 on. 3-0 Resurrection Christian in the 4th inning. At the belt and the pitch. Fastball down and away. Throw back to first. Garrett back in diving. The swipe tag applied by the first baseman Parrish, but instead it's 2 balls and no strikes, and Garrett remains at first. I guess it's what, a swipe or a sweep tag, one of those two. I don't know why I mix that up all the time. 2-0.
Got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be right or wrong one way. Again, throw back to first. He's making it close over there. Good move by Cook. But Garrett is being aggressive there with a nice big lead. He wants to work Cook and keep him thinking about him over at first base. And Hondo here in a hitter's count at 2-0. The stretch and the offering. That's a fastball for a strike down the middle at the knees. It's 2-1. The Cougars scored a run in the first and 2 more in the second. But it could have been worse for Brush. Hondo made a great play in left field, nailing the trail runner at the plate on a base hit, and that breaking ball bounces in and away, but not far enough for the runner Garrett to advance, but it's 3-1. And Ludgate still with the bottom part of his catcher's gear, those shin guards, but the only way he's not going to hit in this inning is if there's a double play. 3 balls and 1 strike, and Cook comes home. Swung on and fouled straight back. Went with a fastball right down the heart of the plate, and Hondo got underneath it, and the count moves to 3-2. And it looks like the forecast for Saturday all around Colorado looks pretty favorable. In fact, it's going to be a little bit cooler. I mean, I think that's baseball weather I would have loved to have played in with a high of like 66, 67 degrees. Fastball called strike 3. Hondo is taking off for first, no doubt. That was right there on the outside corner just above the knees. And it's a second consecutive strikeout. There's 2 down here for Hunter Ludgate, who popped to center in his first time up. And again, the Bee Diggers just trying to take advantage of any situation, but they've been unable to advance. Ben Garrett the pitch. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes. We've also got our game audio, even on YouTube. We've had that even before Facebook was in existence. KSIR B106 channel, all game audio there. And the offering. Fastball bounces to the screen. Garrett to second on the wild pitch. So Brush again for the second time here. Actually, the first time since the first inning. Has a runner in scoring position.
B&B Appliance can help you with all your appliance needs. Stop in and see what they can do for you. Check them out on Ensign Street in Fort Morgan.
2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second. 3-0 Resurrection Christian in the 4th inning. 2 balls, no strikes here to Hunter Ludgate. Again, a hitter's count and the offering. Fastball is outside. Maybe had some tail to that one, 3-0. Well, you got a base open here with the number 8 hitter Bryson Wooldridge on deck. Off of second is Garrett. Well, it's really quiet here. I think I can hear myself breathe. 3-0, and the breaking ball's upstairs. That's the other thing you'll get in high school baseball. Football, you got thousands of people at a game. Basketball, just the gym alone basically keeps all the noise in the building. Caden Schwent here to run for Ludgate. But in baseball, it's out in the open. And for anybody who's played high school baseball, they know that unless you're getting to the playoffs, unless you're in the playoffs, you'll get about 40 to 50 people a game. And they're all huge baseball fans, but of course they're really here for their kids as well. All right, Wooldridge, line to third, his first time up. Bryson did have a triple earlier this year against Sterling, so he can hit that ball in the gap. He takes a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Bryson Wooldridge. Yeah, the Bee Diggers have the unusual 2 players that are left-handed throwers and right-handed hitters. Garrett off of second. And the pitch upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Bryson Wooldridge. Again, 3rd consecutive hitter. It's a 2-0 count to the pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, he pulled the string. That was a big-time off-speed pitch. It's 2-1. Yeah, Bryson took a fastball swing at what appeared to be a changeup. The stretch and the delivery. Swing and a miss. That time over the fastball. Blew it right by the Bee Digger pitcher. And the count levels at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 down in the top of the 4th inning. Whitaker again lays down the sign. Cook looks back at second. At the belt. And the offering. outside. Oh, Cook thought it was strike 3. And if he was a strike, he would have struck out the side. Instead, the runners are going to take off on this 3-2 pitch. So a base hit in the outfield will score 1. An extra base hit could score 2. Payoff pitch coming up to Bryson. And here it is. Swung on and fisted in the air and caught by the shortstop Romero. That was a major jam job. And Jackson Romero waited on that baseball, made the catch. The Bee-Diggers are held off the scoreboard. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. They stranded 5 through 4 innings. The score, Resurrection Christian 3, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And we're back at Resurrection Christian. Where the Resurrection Christian Cougars lead your Brush Bee-Diggers 3-0.
And they got to keep it right here, Evan, because we're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's getting late pretty quickly, even though we're not even that close to the 1 hour mark. Well, we're fairly close. But also knowing that Zach Cook is throwing a heck of a game, allowing just 3 hits and 2 of those in the first inning. At one point, he retired 8 in a row. And you would think that maybe Wooldridge gets a reprieve here facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, but these are the guys who delivered when they scored 2 in the second, including Zach Parrish leading off from the left side, followed by Will Scrotenboer and Cooper Strong. Wooldridge with only 37 pitches, not too bad through the first 3 innings. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. That ball was descending right out of the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike. Braxton Shelton, the second baseman, playing him almost straight up, but it looks like he's going to try to pull the ball. That's on the outside corner. Gorgeous pitch for a strike at the knees. And Wooldridge is ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Ludgate lays down the sign to pitch. Swung on and lifted into shallow right field, and to his right, Godinez makes the grab. Yvonne got a great jump on that baseball and was able to haul it in for the first out of the 4th inning. That'll send up Scrotenboer. I don't know if I've said that name right. I've been trying 2 different ways. He had a base hit his first time up. The stretch and a pitch. Swung on and fisted towards the first base dugout occupied by the Cougars. No balls and 1 strike. He scored 1 of the runs in the second inning. And again, you look back at that 3rd inning, and Wooldridge is getting very comfortable out there. But the issue for Brush this season has been the offense. They've got to get the offense going and find a way to score some runs. The pitch. Swung on, same pitch, same result. Fouled it towards the first base dugout. It's 0-2. And now you wonder if Bryson's going to throw a little bit of a waste pitch here. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, the skies are clearing a bit. And the pitch. A little breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Woolridge sets up on that right side of the rubber. Saw recently a lot of these right-handed pitchers set up on the left side. Fastball is high. And the count goes to 2-2 with Cooper Strong waiting to hit next. The Cougars had 4 of those hits, 4 of the 6 in the second inning when they plated 2 runs. The offering swung on. That's lifted into left center field. Right there is Carson Rule to his right to make the 2-handed grab. 2 outs. And here comes Cooper Strong. And the thing with Bryson, again, they're not extending his pitch count too much. He's only at 45 here. Now, this is kind of where the game almost started getting out of hand. Strong laid down that bunt up the first base side, and instead of eating the baseball, the ball was thrown into foul territory, resulting in a run, as Rez at that point extended the lead at 2-0. The fastball is upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch, fastball rides inside. 2-0 to the number 8 hitter. Resurrection Christian wants to turn the lineup over right here, but if Wooldridge retires Strong, it would be the 9 hitter leading off the 5th. Swung on and chopped right back to the leaping Wooldridge. He throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bryson Wooldridge. To the 5th we go, and 1 minute Resurrection Christian is holding on to a 3-0 lead at home over Brush on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And we're back at Resurrection Christian Field where the Brush Beaters are losing to the Resurrection Christian Cougars 3-0.
You know, I used that term once and they said don't use it again. I said trailing instead of losing. But something well, you are down. You are down 3-0. And the pitch and the fastball is outside to lead off the 5th inning for Brush in Kyle Wellen, who struck out swinging his first time up. 4 strikeouts in the game for Zach Cook. And the pitch swung on in line towards left center field to his right. And waiting for that on a bounce is Cooper Strong. It's a base hit. Boy, the way he was running towards that baseball, I thought he was going to make the catch, but instead he conceded to it, and it was a solid single on the soft liner to left center for Kyle Wellen. So Brush, here for the 2nd straight inning, has a leadoff single. The problem was in the previous inning, Ben Garrett was stranded over at first and never moved. Here's Carson Rule, who's popped out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Short lead for Wellen. B-Diggers will be a little bit conservative now. Squaring to bunt, and he lays it down beautifully out in front of the plate. Barehanded by the catcher. Throw to first in time. Jared Whitaker with a nice athletic play. That ball was about 15 feet out in front of the plate. He had to bolt out from the catcher's crouch and throw a dart over there to Parrish, and there's one down in the 5th inning. Sacrifice for Carson Rule. Moves Kyle Wellen to second. And here is Braxton Shelton. Right-handed hitting second baseman. The stretch by Cook. And the pitch. Low. Well, I don't know if he took something off of that one. The way it was caught, it looked like the catcher Whitaker was almost a little bit crossed up. Made a basket catch there. 1 ball and no strikes. Brush had their best opportunity in the first inning. 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. And did not score. Off of second as well in the offering. And the breaking ball swung on and missed off the catcher, but Wellen remains at second. Big hack there taken by Shelton. The count levels at 1-1.
You're all right, 1-8. Relax.
1 ball and 1 strike to the freshman second baseman. Regular season finale. B-Diggers trying to rally for their 12th win of the season. Resurrection Christians at 15-5. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Ball 2, strike 1. On deck is Nick Wellen. And like Braxton, he's got one of the 4 B-Digger hits in the game. Laying down the sign is Whitaker. Cook at the belt. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss. That's the same swing he took on the same pitch 2 pitches ago. That levels the count at 2-2.
Come on, kid. Right here. Let's go. You can do it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Braxton Shelton. Looks like maybe a JV game's going to break out over there. The pitch in the dirt. Boy, nice take there. Went with the same pitch, but that was down and away. Ball 3, strike 2, and Nick Wellen on deck has got home run power. He could tie the game if Shelton reaches here in the 5th inning. 3-0 Resurrection Christian. It'll be a payoff pitch coming up. The stretch and the delivery. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Count remains at 3-2. Went with some heat down the middle. Braxton has had a huge season. .492 coming in and is 1 for 2 today. It'll be another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and grounded to left field for a base hit. Shepard was caught off balance to third as well. And Shepard started towards the line and the ball was hit to his left. I've never seen that, where the third baseman was anticipating where the baseball was going before it got there. I don't think that baseball took a strange hop. He just went towards the bag and the ball was hit to his left, and it looked like it was going to be a routine grounder. Instead, Shelton has got his second hit of the game. And it's 1st and 3rd with 1 out for Wellen. Yeah, did you see that, Evan? That was
interesting.
Sure.
I've
never seen that. I've seen that in slow pitch softball where you anticipate a ball being hit, but that was not some crazy bounce. Throw back to first, trying to get Shelton. A high throw that Parrish comes down with. Nonetheless, Brush has their second hit of the inning. Now let's see if Welland can continue the rally with one down. And Cook comes home. Runner goes, swung on and popped up down the left field line, and that ball is going to be off the glove of Shepard, racing to the plate as well. And the throw, the slide, he's in there. That's going to be a base hit. He tried to make a basket catch with his back to the infield. Shelton to second, and it's now 3-1, but again scored a base hit. That was not an easy play for Shepard on a Texas leaguer that was in shallow left field, and Brush now has 3 hits in the inning. And Welland, like Shelton, has 2 in the game.
Just brought his little brother home.
That's it. That's all he needed. And now here is Ben Garrett, who's walked and singled, and all of a sudden, both Brush and Resurrection Christian have 6 hits apiece. Here's the stretch. And Cook delivers. In the dirt, skips away, but only a few feet up the first base side. Yeah, Whitaker's been very solid behind the plate. And, you know, the one thing with this field, there's not much room between the catcher and the backstop. So it's really got to get away for runners to advance, 15, 20 feet. And the offering, and that's low with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes, and Cook is up to 78 pitches. So he's got about 32 max left, and we got 1 out in the 5th inning, and Brush is finally broken out on the board. First Beat Digger run of the game. We'll get to that here momentarily. And a 2-0, down and away. First Beat Digger run brought to you by
Western Engineering Consultants, engineering and consulting services for all your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs set them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants.
3-0 here to Ben Garrett, the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the inner half with the knees. Ball 3, strike 1. Singles by Kyle Welland, Braxton Shelton, Nick Welland, 3-1. That is low, and the bases are loaded. As Ben Garrett walks, here is Yvonne. Now he's got to watch out because they threw him an 0-2 breaking ball that he did not expect, and he struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. So even though you're a freshman, which you are as well, Evan, these are adjustments you make the next time around, knowing, hey, this is what he got me out with.
Oh, yeah.
The infield's a double play depth. Out of the windup is Zach Cook. And the pitch to Yvonne. Swung on and grounded to third. Shepard will go to the plate, a low throw, and it skips through the catcher. Shelton scores. That'll be an error on Shepard. And the Beat Diggers make this a 3-2 game. An easy play, but the ball was one hop to Whitaker. He couldn't scoop it out. No RBI there for Yvonne. No Ribby on the error. And it's now 3-2. And the bases remain loaded for Maltos Garcia. And again, not a lot of room between the catcher and the backstop, so no further advance by Nick Welland. And all of a sudden, we could have a brand new ball game. It's already a new one from 3-0 to 3-2.
AC Ice, crystal clear ice, good for any drink and at any time of the year. You can pick up AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store in Northeast Colorado today.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and foul to the screen. Hondo was challenged with a fastball down the middle. It's 0-1. Maltos Garcia popped to right and struck out looking. He is 0 for 2 in the game. But Brush, which has defeated Resurrection Christian, I believe the last 2 years here in Loveland, back in this game. And the offering, swung on and chopped slowly on the first base side to the plate. And off the glove of the catcher. Parrish threw it right in the glove of Whitaker. He dropped the baseball. Even though there was no tag that needed to be applied, he just dropped the ball. I think he was thinking about trying to turn a 3-6-4 double play because the first baseman Parrish was playing in, and it's now tied at 3 as Welland scores. Second consecutive error, and this one on the Cougar catcher. And this is kind of what happened when they lost by 12 runs to University. The defense fell apart. And again, these are routine plays that are normally made by a team on their home field like Resurrection Christian is. Nonetheless, Brush has tied the game. And certainly no fault of Zach Cook here. He's making the pitches. And here is Hunter Ludgate, who has popped out and walked. So he had a grounder to third to Shepard, a force play, an easy one at the plate, but he threw it a one-hopper that skipped by Whitaker. And the pitch, fastball is high, and then the grounder to Parrish, who was playing a few feet in. He threw an easy toss. And Whitaker didn't look the ball in, and it skipped off his glove on a throw that was chest high. 1 ball and no strikes. Garrett at third. Cardenas at second. Maltos Garcia at first. 1 out in the 5th inning. Deadlocked at 3. And the 1-0 pitch swung on and lifted foul and out of play off to the right. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. You never know what's going to happen in baseball, Evan. I mean,
unpredictable.
I didn't see this coming like this. A rally, yes, but not this way. And the 1-1. That's a fastball for a strike at the knees. Ludgate thought it was maybe a little bit below the knees, but it was on the bottom part of the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bryson Wooldridge on deck. He might go with that breaking ball here. And the 1-2 in the dirt, yep, but it's blocked beautifully by Whitaker. And the count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was pitch number 88 for Cook. So he's really building up a pitch count in this inning. Out of the windup with the bases full of bead diggers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering. Fastball called. Strike 3. Outside corner, thigh high. And Ludgate strikes out. 2 down. And let's see, I believe that should be strikeout number 5 here. And it is for Zach Cook. Bryson has lined out and popped to short. He's 0 for 2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. A sweeping breaking ball. It's 0-1. Bead Diggers have had some hits in this inning, but without the errors, it's still a 3-1 game. Instead, it tied at 3. Stepping off is Cook. No balls and 1 strike. Had like Wooldridge with that green bat. I don't see many green bats.
No.
And the pitch swung on that is popped up. That should end the inning in shallow right field. Long run. The second baseman Wheeler makes. Oh, he dropped the ball. It was in his glove and it's off his glove. That's not going to be a catch. And the Bead Diggers now lead by a score of 5-3. Here comes Maltos to the plate as the ball was being held. He slides in safely. And the Bead Diggers scored 3 runs. It was right in Wheeler's glove. And as he went to the ground, he dropped it. Well, that's going to be scored an error, not a 3 base there, but that'll be an error. That was right in his glove. And all he had to do was secure it. 3rd error in the inning, and Brush is now up by 3.
Wow.
I mean, that ball was in his glove for almost a full second, and then it kind of shuffled around. And we'll have a courtesy runner, Hunter Dunn. Wow, what a messy inning it has been.
And just like that, it's flip-flopped.
Yeah. I mean, this is a crazy inning. We saw even the base hit by Shelton.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a grounder to third, and again, it looked like Shepard was trying to read the baseball and went the wrong way. Throw back to first, back in diving. Now Kyle Wellen is now the hitter. He began the rally. Wellen had the base hit and then scored the first of these 6 Bead Digger runs. Here's the stretch by Cook. 2-step lead at first. The pitch. Swung on to line. Base hit into left center field. Beyond the leaping Jackson Romero. Done to second. And Kyle Wellen has his 2nd hit of the inning. And here comes Carson Rule. Wow. Now Brush is out hitting Resurrection Christian 7-6. But again, the defense has been the issue here for the Cougars. A stretch in the offering. Swing and a miss and a fastball tailing away. It looked like Cook reared back for something extra there. No balls and 1 strike. Laying down the sign is Whitaker. Off of second is Dunn. Kyle Wellen at first. And the offering. Fastball high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners take their leads with 2 down in the 5th inning. And the offering. Swung on line, base hit into right field. Let's see if Dunn's going to try to score. Ball takes 2 hops on Schrotenbauer. He's around third. Throw to the plate up the third base side. He slides in head first. Dunn scores. The ball gets loose. Now the throw to third. The slide and out is going to be Kyle Wellen. but a 7th run scores in the inning for the Bead Diggers on a base hit by Carson Rule. What an inning for Brush as the Bead Diggers score the 7 runs on 5 hits. There were 3 errors and a man left. 4.5 complete in Loveland. Brush 7, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Res Christian Field, where your Brush Bead Diggers lead the Res Christian Cougars 7-3.
As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Bryson Wooldridge has done a nice job. Only 48 pitches thrown. He's gotten stronger. He'll face the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Josiah Lincoln, followed by Jared Whitaker and Zach Cook, and that pitch is a strike. Fastball, belt high, it's 0-1. Lincoln singled. And his first time up, the pitch. Swag and a miss. Challenge him with a fastball, letter high. And the count is at 0-2. Lincoln's base hit drove in the 3rd run for Resurrection Christian. And the offering, fastball's very high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Bryson does look like he's actually getting stronger.
Oh, yeah.
He got through the first 2 innings and now is getting into a rhythm. He's got more bounce to his step on the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Opening up the stances, Lincoln the pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's 1 down, a ball that was tailing down at around the knees. The strikeout for Bryson Wooldridge. As we go back to the top of the order is Bryson's first of the game. Lefty against lefty. Whitaker singled and grounded out. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Tied him up. Down and in. It's 0-1. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Pitch to contact. Let your defense do the work. You didn't need to strike out everybody. The pitch. Tails inside. Although Cook probably would have preferred to have struck out some of the Bead Diggers because his defense, which was very solid for the first 4 innings, let him down there in the 5th. And the 1-1. Swung on and popped into right center field. Carson Rule to his left. Going back, still going back. He makes the running catch. And there's 2 down in the 5th inning as Jared Whitaker is retired. That'll send up Zach Cook, who was singled and grounded out. Yeah, I mean, you know, you get to a certain age, you shouldn't be surprised by anything. You shouldn't. But when you see a game going along with a certain rhythm, and then it turns around that drastically the way it did, and that is a little bit low, barely missed. Wooldridge thought he had strike 1, that changeup a little bit below the knees. 1 ball, no strikes. But this one, I mean, I saw 2 things in that top of the 5th inning I'd never seen in baseball, and that one bounces in, 2-0. Let's take a look here at our home scorecard, because Wooldridge has really, as I mentioned, gotten into a nice rhythm. And the 2-0, and that ball hit him in the helmet. Well, for Bryson, that ends a string. He had retired 10 in a row, and just like that, it's a hit batsman. So at first is Cook, and here is Jackson Romero. Sack fly, then grounded to short. He is 0 for 1. Yeah, let's see what Bryson throws Romero. You never want Romero up there, the number 3 hitter, even with 2 down and a man on. And I don't know what's going on over there. The field umpire having some discussion. I have no idea. I mean, Cook is okay. He got hit in the helmet with an off-speed pitch. But there was some discussion over there with a field umpire and somebody on the Resurrection Christian side, I guess. Anyway, here we go. Romero waits, but the throw back to first back in standing is Cook. 7-3 Brush. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning in the regular season finale for both teams. Laying down the sign is Ludgate. And the pitch. Fastball tails away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Romero. This is a huge confidence booster for Brush. They had not played that well of late. Swung on and foul to the backstop. 1-1. And again, even if Bryson does pitch on Saturday, he'll have enough rest. He'll have enough allotted rest.
Yeah.
But how much mileage is he going to put in today? He's at 60 pitches unofficially right now. And the 1-1. Swung on and fouled. Went with a breaking ball. It's 1-2. And doing an excellent job of mixing up his arsenal of pitches. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. A man at first base. 10 in a row at one point, retired by Wooldridge. But trying to get Romero here in the bottom of the 5th inning, the offering. Swung on and lifted to center field. Carson Rule to his right is right there to make the catch. And that does it for Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs. No hits, no errors. A man left at first base. 5 complete. Brush 7. Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And it's the top of the 6th at Res Christian Field, where the Brush Beaters lead 7-3.
All right. We see that the new pitcher is Zach Parrish. Will Scrotenbauer is at first base, and I believe Zach Cook is in right. Or they might have moved him to center. No, looks like he's in center now. Zach Cook would be in center. And that should place Cooper Strong in right. That's going to be our guess right here. That's the thing with doing high school baseball. You just got to calculate the changes yourself. Because normally when a pitcher is replaced, that's not necessarily a 1-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
They shift all these players around. So here we go to the top of the 6th inning. Brush holding a 7-3 lead. This will be a left-hander in Parrish against the right-handed hitting Braxton Shelton at 2-for-3. The pitch swung on and lifted towards center field. And to his right is Cook, and he makes the grab for the out. 1 down in the 6th inning.
Braxton can really hit that.
Yeah, it didn't even get all of it.
Yeah.
And he still gave it a nice ride. Here's Nick Wellen, who's singled, lined out and singled. He is 2-for-3. And Wellen has hit it to the left side every time. And the lefty delivers. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ben Garrett waits to hit next. And the offering. Swung on and grounded it left side. Nice play by Shepard to his left. Fires to first, and there's 2 down as Nick Wellen is retired.
Igmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Igmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan.
Not only do things happen in life, things happen in the 5th inning.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. 7 runs on 3 errors. Bee Diggers did have some hits in that frame. Pitch to Garrett. Down and away off the glove of Whitaker. Garrett has been on base all 3 times. Walked his first and third plate appearances. Singled his second time up. And Ben in the game has scored 1 run. And the pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to the Bee Digger third baseman. Brush trailed 1-0 after 1, 3-0 after 2, 3-0 after 3 and 4 before plating 7 in the 5th. And the pitch swung on and chopped foul down the third base side. Ball 2, strike 1 to Ben Garrett. I've barely eaten all day, man.
Yeah,
I think same with you?
Yeah.
When I get home, I'm going to put on a clinic. I don't know exactly. I'm going to put on a clinic to my stomach. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lined, and caught by the third baseman, Shepard. That was actually on the 2-1 pitch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander, Zach Parrish. 5.5 innings have been played. The score, Brush 7, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
And we're back at Resurrection Christian, where the Brush Beaters lead the Cougars 7-3.
All right, we have a new pitcher for Brush. Nick Wellen is now on the mound for the Bee Diggers. Alejandro Maltos Garcia moves to left, from left to short, I should say. And Kyle Wellen is the new left fielder. The starting pitcher, Bryson Wooldridge, goes to first base.
And this Brush pitching change is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them at 842-4555.
Easy number to remember for Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Here we go. Heart of the order. Sawyer, Shepard, Andrew Iwanicki, and Zach Parrish against the right-hander, Nick Wellen. 6 outs remain for the Bee Diggers. On the positive end, that is. Up 7-3. And the pitch. Fastball is low. 1 ball and no strike. Shepard is lined to third and grounded back to the mound. And the right-hander fires. Swung and a foul to the screen. Boy, he swung hard at that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Simple plays. If Resurrection Christian doesn't rally, they're going to remember 2 or 3 plays in this game that were elementary that they couldn't make. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Oh, the first pitch was actually a strike. I thought it was 1-1 there, so it's a called strike 3. That was on an 0-2 pitch, and there's 1 down. So Nick Wellen wastes no time, and he painted the corner with that one. Keep in mind, we have no scoreboard here. We are the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Here's high one, Nicky, 0 for 2. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat slowly on the ground is short. Charging is Shelton to throw to first in time. Okay, so Shelton went to short. I'd seen Maltos Garcia over there, but they did actually make the switch, and Braxton makes the nice play to retire Andrew Iwanicki for the second out. All right, 2 down here for Zach Parrish, who was singled and popped to right. And Wellen, 4 pitches, 2 down.
Yeah.
Why waste time, right?
Yeah.
The offering. Swung on, lined, and caught by the leaping second baseman, Hondo. Alejandro Maltos Garcia with an athletic play out at second on 5 pitches. Nick Wellen retires Resurrection Christian in the 6th inning. To the 7th we go. Brush 7, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Well, it's the top of the 7th at Res Christian Field, and the Beat Diggers lead 7-3.
I'm John Beltran with Evan James in Loveland. Let's see, the Beat Diggers can tack on some insurance runs. All the runs they scored were in the 5th inning. Here's the wind and pitch for the left-hander, Zach Parrish. Swung on and popped up by Ivan Cardenas. Well out of play off to the left. Ivan struck out and reached on an air. He is 0 for 1. 7 runs on 8 hits for Brush. 3 runs on 6 hits for Resurrection. They've committed 3 errors all in the same inning. Brush has stranded 6, Resurrection Christian 3, and the breaking ball bounces in front of Whitaker. Brush has committed 1 error. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm telling you. I mean, I was telling Kevin Fergus earlier today, who's called a lot of the games this season, done a fantastic job, that the Beat Diggers needed just to play well today to establish some confidence, and they have done so here, and that pitch is in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Win or lose, play well, establish some confidence, legitimize yourself. And the fastball is a strike on the inside corner, letter high. Ball 2, strike 2. Parrish retired the Beat Diggers in order coming into the game in the 6th inning. And the left-hander fires outside. Just missed the corner. On the breaking ball, it's 3-2. Cardenas, Hondo, and Ludgate here in the 7th. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the offering. Fastball is high. Ivan walks. That's the way to get the 7th inning started. Let's see if Hondo, can put a charge into this one. And the day's gotten nicer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is beautiful now. There was more threatening weather at the very beginning of the game and at around the 2nd inning. Short lead at first for Ivan against the lefty. Squaring to bunt is Hondo, the pitch, and he lays it down foul up the third base side. Angled that bat a little bit too much. No balls and 1 strike.
Hondo's had some beautiful bunts this year.
Well, his defense, first of all, today has been phenomenal. Left field, he throws a run out at the plate. You mentioned during the break that he added 6 inches to his vertical on that leaping grab. And the offering, and the breaking ball's up and away off the catcher's glove. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, he's a good athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Starting freshman quarterback this year, very coordinated, knows the game well. And trying to execute here fundamental. He's showing bunts. He's not hiding the fact he's going to bunt it all. 1-1, and he missed that one completely. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of stabbed at that pitch that was on the outside corner. He might be hitting away here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ivan Cardenas drew a leadoff walk here in the 7th. The Beat Diggers lead by 4. And the pitch. Breaking ball foul to the backstop. Nice job. He was way out in front of that left leg, but he kept his hands back. That kept him right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-step lead, if even that, for Ivan. The pitch. Swing and a miss. So he went fishing at a ball that was neck high. And there's 1 down in the 7th. Here's Hunter Ludgate. Let's see, for Zach Parrish. As the pitch is going to be swung on and grounded to short. Romero fields, could be 2 to second for 1. Wheeler to first. That's a double play. 6-4-3. And just like that, the Beet Diggers are done in the 7th. 3 outs to go. Brush 7, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
It's 7-3 in favor of the Beet Diggers at Resurrection Christian Field. And
we head to the bottom of the 7th here, Evan. I'm Sean Beltran, Will Scrotenbauer, or Bower, I should say. Cooper Strong and Josiah Lincoln, 7, 8, and 9 against Nick Wellen, who retired Resurrection Christian on 5 pitches in the 6th inning. And just as we mentioned, the weather was nice. I just felt a couple of raindrops, but the sun is also out. All right. Scrotenbauer, 1 for 2, singled and popped out. Left-handed hitter against the righty. And the pitch, fastball is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Trying to save this game for Bryson Wooldridge, who went 5 very effective innings. The offering. That's a strike with a fastball in the outside corner just above the knees. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to the left-handed hitting right fielder. The pitch up and away. He started the game in right. 2-1. I checked it. Yep, he's still out there. And the pitch swung on and lifted foul off to the right side and well out of play as Cardenas gives chase. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-0 was the score until the 5th. 1 inning turned this game completely around for Brush. But they still got to get the 3 outs against a very talented Cougars team. And the pitch. And a check swing on the breaking ball did not go. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Resurrection Christian has not scored since the 2nd. 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Thigh-high fastball, and there's 1 down. Man, how's Nick Wellen looking so far?
Oh, man, he's looking good.
Boy, he painted that corner. 1 down in the 7th. For Wellen, that's his 2nd strikeout. Bryson went 5 innings and had just 1 strikeout. Cooper Strong is 1 for 2. The pitch. Fastball, a strike. On the outside corner, belt high. He is painting that corner right now. Either side. This is a right-handed hitter. And the pitch. Swung on, that has popped up in the infield. The shortstop, Braxton Shelton, on the edge of the grass is going to make the catch as he falls to the turf, and there's 2 down. Oh, a nice job of shading that glove up against the sun. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's Josiah Lincoln.
Just 1 more.
Check that. We have a pinch hitter here.
24.
This is Luke Ruby. Batting from the right side. Luke Ruby now steps in for the Cougars. All right, Wellen is retired. All 5 he's faced. And the pitch. Fastball rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ludgate lays down the sign. And the offering. That's a fastball down the middle at 1-1.
Northeastern, when it comes to your future, Northeastern is miles ahead, and they're at college. That's close to home.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The base is empty in the 7th. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. Ball 2, strike 1 to Luke Ruby, right-handed hitter. First plate appearance here for Resurrection Christian with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the offering. Out the strike. Oh, he caught the corner. Boy, that was almost backhanded by Ludgate, but it got the edge of that corner. 2-2. And Wellen delivers. Swung on and popped up into shallow left field. And right there is Kyle Wellen to make the 2-handed grab. And the Brush Beet Diggers have rallied from a 3-0 deficit in the 5th and beat the Resurrection Christian Cougars 7-3. We'll take a 2-minute break and wrap it up after this in 2 minutes on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
The Brush Beet Diggers postgame show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center, a proud supporter of all our area athletes. Those are you with all your home, farm and ranch supplies with 3 locations to serve you: Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan.
The Bead Diggers defeat the Resurrection Christian Cougars in the regular season finale and now take 4th place in the Patriot League as they were 1 game back of Resurrection Christian. Final score 7-3. A nice comeback for Brush. 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, 6 left on base, 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, 3 left on base for Resurrection Christian. The winning pitcher was Bryson Wooldridge. The loss went to Zach Cook. Time of the game, 1 hour and 35 minutes. Resurrection Christian took a 1-0 lead in the first inning on a sacrifice fly from Jackson Romero. And then they threatened again in the second. Cooper Strong had a bunt. The ball was thrown away down the right field line. The only error for Brush in the game. And it was 2-0. Then Josiah Lincoln had a base hit to left field. A run scored, but then Cooper Strong was tagged out on a perfect throw by Alejandro Maltos Garcia. And it was at 3-0. And meanwhile, Bryson Wooldridge did a tremendous job keeping his team in the game, retiring 10 in a row at one point. The Bead Diggers, who had second and third and 1 out in the first inning, would finally capitalize in the 5th inning. Nick Wellen scored Kyle Wellen on a base hit. Kyle Wellen had 2 hits in the inning. Then Ivan Cardenas reached on an error, which scored a run. Maltos Garcia reached on an error, which scored a run, 2 routine plays, and it was tied at 3. And then Brush would take the lead for good when Bryson Wooldridge hit a fly ball that the second baseman Ethan Wheeler flagged down in short right field. It went right into his glove, and then popped out at the last second. 3 runs scored on that error, was 6-3. Carson Rule with an RBI single, making it 7-3. And once Bryson went those 5 innings, Nick Wellen mowed down Resurrection Christian with 2 perfect innings. He struck out a couple. And the Bead Diggers with a victory, now 5-4 in Patriot League play, 12-9 overall. Resurrection Christian with the same league record, 15-6 on the season, 3rd consecutive year that the Bead Diggers have defeated Resurrection Christian on this field, if my memory serves correct, or at least 3rd in the last 4 years, as Brush wins the game by a score of 7-3. I'll try to get a visit here with the head coach of the Bead Diggers, Tom Odell. But certainly you knock off a team that was in the top 10 in the RPI. The Bead Diggers were sitting at number 10, a Resurrection Christian team that lost 3-2 in 13 innings to Eaton, that lost 6-5 in 8 innings to Sterling. A very good team. And Evan, still, it was a crazy 5th inning.
That was insane. I've never seen anything like it, honestly.
Well, again, let's recap part of what we saw.
Yeah.
A simple ground ball to the third baseman Shepard, and he broke to his right. The ball was hit to his left. It wasn't a side spin.
Yeah.
Then we had a grounder to third, and I've seen that before, a bad throw to the plate, but it was really thrown low. Not only low, but it was one hop to the catcher, couldn't handle it. And then a grounder to first, another play at the plate. And these all forced plays at the plate, and it went off the catcher's glove, a perfect throw. And then a fly ball that looked like it was going to be caught in right center field. These were 3 batters in a row. What the Bead Diggers did right, they put the ball in play. And Resurrection Christian, unfortunately for them, had 3 misplays in a row. And because of those 3 misplays, the Bead Diggers, instead of losing this game perhaps 3-1, win the game by a score of 7-3. All right, we'll see if we can get a visit here momentarily with the head coach of the Bead Diggers, Tom Odell. I'm going to head out there to the field, and let's take about a 2-minute break. Let's come back in 2 minutes, one more 2-minute break. Brush 7, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Resurrection Christian High School in Loveland with a Brush Bead Diggers rally from a 3-0 hole to beat Resurrection Christian 7-3 as we are joined now by the head coach of the Bead Diggers, Tom Odell. Coach, I mean, obviously you got 4 days until you got the playoff game coming up on Saturday, hopefully playoff games. And I know that this team could sense the urgency of this game, of this moment, because we know what happened Friday at Kent Denver. That was a disaster. Saturday, a 6-4 victory against a Strasburg team that is not even close to the level of this Resurrection Christian team. How do you explain what happened today? Your team stayed in the game, and Bryson Wooldridge pitched a heck of a game once your team was down 3-0.
You're exactly right. You know, Bryson did a great job today, and he kept us in the game all the way around. You know, we battled today, and we finally put some balls down in the dirt. We let our speed work on the bases, and, you know, when you're fast and you put the ball in the grass and get it dirty, it's pretty hard to defend it.
What about mentally? You got to feel a lot better. They've got to feel a lot better about themselves now, just as opposed to 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, absolutely. You know, John, we've been working hard, and mentally we've been working hard to get ourselves in a position we need to be. we're getting closer. You know, we've been talking to these kids all year. We got 21 games this year, regular season. We got to learn all our lessons and make our mistakes, and hopefully we're in the playoffs now and we're ready to roll.
The way the pitching worked out today, was that your game plan, go Bryson 5 innings and Nick 2, or did you just maneuver that game plan as the game went along and based on the conditions of the game?
Well, we were even thinking going shorter than that with Bryson, but he had such a handle on his control today and had them where we wanted them. We were hoping to use a few more pitchers, but, you know, when Nick comes in as on like he is, we didn't need to use anybody else.
All right, so let's break down what's going to happen here over the next 3 days. I know you're anxiously awaiting, as is the team, as are all of us, to see where you'll be going on Saturday, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I mean, critical is obviously the prep leading into Saturday, coming off a great performance today.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go right back to the grindstone. We're going to work on our hitting. We're going to work on driving the ball, keeping it down. We're going to have the turtle over the top of them. If they pop it up, it's not going to go anywhere. We're going to hit base hits. We're going to work on our arms and our defense, and we're just going to keep doing the complete thing we've been doing all year.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. It's a big win for this program.
A huge win. That's Rush head coach Tom Odell as the Bee Diggers defeat the Resurrection Christian Cougars 7-3 to wrap up the regular season 12-9, and they're fourth in the Patriot League now, breaking that tie with Resurrection Christian. For Evan James, I'm John Beltran. Thanks to our sound engineer and producer, Rose Condas. Tune in to 1010 Preps and more tomorrow from 1 to 2, and we will update you on where the Bee Diggers will be going coming up on Saturday. You've been listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.